Good morning, everyone. This is Laura Johnson here at IMES, and have the privilege of having Austin Eller, our regional VP with North American, here on the line with us as well today. Going to be talking a couple different things. We're going to go over some of the things North America has added in recently, partial Roth conversions. We're going to take a deeper dive at the Charter Plus because they've done some enhancements with the bonuses there. So really great accumulation play. So Austin will be sharing that with you. First, we're going to just do a few little slides here on IMES, housekeeping things. If you do have questions throughout the presentation, you can go ahead and type those in. Oh, maybe I should share my screen. You can type those in, and I'll be happy to answer those as we go, or we'll address them at the end. So, for those of you who don't know, Laura Johnson, work on the annuity team here. Been with IMES about 16 years, all in, about half the time on the admin side, and going on year 9 over on the sales team. So, happy to assist you guys in anything you may need. Don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to assist. So, what we're going to start with is talk a little bit about IMES. So, if you're new to IMES or maybe considering joining IMES, one thing that we like to do right out the gate is put some incentive out there for you. So, we do what we call our new producer bonus. This is available for you the first 180 days, so 6 months to qualify. As you can see on the screen, there's 5 different tiers. Really, the goal with this is our goal is to help you grow your business. And so off those first pieces of business that you place with IMES, being able to kick back on the marketing front, whether it be paying for some seminars, preset appointments. As you can see, there's some great marketing reimbursement options. Really the goal here is so that you can go help take your business to the next level and let us partner with you by helping with some of that cost. If you're curious where you stand, give your marketer at IMES a call. They'll be happy to get that answered for you. After you're done with your new producer bonus, we do move you into a marketing reimbursement program. So we're going to look at the bottom part of the slide first. So every 100,000 of index annuity premium would generate $100 put in a marketing account for you. For every 100,000 of single premium life is equivalent to $200 in your marketing account. And for every 10,000 of life target premium, that's $200 as well. So really a great way for you to just be earning extra dollars that we can help assist in those marketing costs for you. One other program we do have available is a referred producer program. Great opportunity for us just to give you a little kickback for the referrals. I mean, referrals are important in your business. They're equally important in ours. Some of our best agents have come from referrals, so, and sometimes agents don't necessarily want to set up a hierarchy and have to deal with potential chargebacks from downline agents. So this is a way that we can do this without having to take on that risk. So when your referee gets appointed with us, it's $50. And then as you can see on the screen, the breakdown of all life, annuity, business, single premium life, and what the payout is on those. Those checks do go out quarterly. And so, yeah, if you have anyone you think would benefit from the services here at IMES, reach out to your marketer, get them that information. They'll be happy to reach out to that agent. It's part of our name, Insurance Agency Marketing Service. And service is our number one goal here at IMES. If you've worked with IMES for any length of time, you know that is our first priority. I mean, it starts with answering the phone every time you call. You will always get a live person. You're not going to be talking to voicemails or automated services. So that's something that Charles started the company with, and that's something that will not go away. So, and then that's taking your business from A to Z, helping you on the backside. I always like to tell people you got to put me on your staff without putting me on your payroll. I mean, that's helping you with case design. That's helping with getting you forms, verifying your training, A to Z. We say submission to commission support from the new business team. I mean, they're scrubbing your apps. They're checking on them every 2 to 3 business days, keeping you informed so that you can stay in the field doing what you do best. We also are insurance based. So, paperless contracting, it's really a couple clicks and we can get you out of contract. If you haven't visited our website, I encourage you to do so. There's a lot of great information, and we're adding more things daily. So www.imesinc.com. A couple things, I'm not going to go through the website, bore you, but a couple high points that I will point out is we do have Firelight on our website. So on our website, once you're in there, there's an eApp solutions, and you have access to Firelight. You have access to iGo eApp and Connect for Medicare, which would be the 3 EAP platforms. So regardless if you're doing annuity, life, or Medicare, you can have one single sign-on to our website and be able to access them all. If you're like me, you're not great at remembering all your passwords, it makes it really easy when you only have one. A lot of other great things out there. We do give you access to Annuity Rate Watch. Um, we got iPipeline out there, but under the support tab, we have the sales resource library, and I think that's a really great resource for you all in the field. Anywhere from fact finders to client presentations. I mean, if you got a client asking you what's a fixed indexed annuity, if you go out under the client presentations, you can find a 12-page white paper on everything you do or do not want to know about indexed annuities. It'll lay it all out there. I mean, and there's different topics, Roth conversions, maybe IRA contributions. I mean, there's just a ton of different topics and a ton of different fact finders. So maybe you're doing a special estate planning and you need just a little bit different fact finder for that. There's about 5 different ones you can choose from out there on that resource library. So encourage you to check it out if you ever want to just get a little brief walkthrough of the website. Reach out to myself or anyone on my team, life or annuity marketing team. We were happy to do that with you. So like I said, we've got EAP solutions, every kind you need with one single sign-on. On this slide, you can see pretty much every carrier is out there on Firelight. Some of the newer ones that have recently entered the industry are working on getting it added, but I'd say 95% of carriers, well, probably even higher than that, are on Firelight. And one thing I will speak on with Firelight too, and Austin can probably attest to this, if you are not using Firelight, you should reconsider because it makes processing your business, first of all, way easier, a lot less NIGOs, but it gets you paid probably 2 weeks faster, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks faster because everything's automated. When you put that Firelight in, it automatically is up. When we submit it, it automatically uploads into North American's CRM. So it's not someone having to sit there and enter an app. A lot of these carriers have added in suitability checks throughout the Firelight app. They some days we'll have submit an app and within 2 hours suitability is approved and they can get going on getting transfer paperwork out. So if you're scared of it, don't be. It's actually very smart system. It makes sure you have every form you need. As you answer questions, it pulls in the extra documents you may need. It won't let you submit till we got 100%, and it'll help relieve stress as far as having to go back with NIGOs to the clients and having to go back to the client repeatedly. So if you're not using it, if you want someone to help walk you through it, we've got videos. I'll be happy to get on there, do a share screen Zoom call, but I encourage you to consider using Firelight if you aren't already. If you haven't worked with our creative team, encourage you to do so. We've got a full service creative team here who can do anything from maybe you're brand new and you need a logo, or maybe you're looking to do a quarterly newsletter, you need a website built, or you're looking to do some video marketing, or you name it, we can do it here internally. We've got everything we need set up here available to help you grow your business. And so if you have a project that you're considering, or maybe something you're wanting to do, just give your marketer a call, let them know kind of what you're thinking, and then they can get you hooked up with the correct person over on the creative team as far as getting that project done for you. For those of you who may not know, we do have a sister company, IMS Wealth Management, our RIA, here in Omaha as well. Charles Jr. and his team, Duncan, Zach, they do a great job for all of our advisors. Many of our top producing insurance agents are top producing on the wealth management side as well. And one thing I will mention on the wealth management side, and we all know suitability. When you get into suitability and you go into a house and they have $500,000, well, we know North Americans only going to probably be able to take about 300 of that, right? So what are you doing with that other 200,000? Because if you're not doing something with it, you're just allowing another advisor to potentially come in and service that portion and potentially steal the client from you. So we think it's really important. And we know not everyone wants to go get their security license. And now we got the DOL. What do I do? Well, we've got solutions. So number one, if you're 65 registered or CFP, want to get registered, we can do that. But we also have a solution for those who may not want to sit and take the test and study for the exam or have their security license. We have a client direct program where you can Whether you're studying or maybe just don't want to get your security license, you can refer clients over to our wealth management team. Zachary handles this program, and he will handle the security side of it for you while you handle the insurance. And now you know that that client is safe with IMES, with you, and not going to be at risk of being taken by another agent. So we think it's a good program. We have a lot of agents who utilized it as they were studying, and then once they passed their exam, all those clients got transferred right over to them. So really what Zach does is he includes you on everything, but he will do the recommendations as far as the security side, let you handle the insurance, but you guys can work together and he can help service that client for you. If you have any questions on that, just shoot me a note, type in there that you want more information on it, and I'll make sure that one of the guys reach out to you. Last thing before we hand it over to Austin is our Life and Annuity Academies. We've got our first one actually coming up next Wednesday up in Des Moines. But we do about 4 of these a year. 4 that are combo of life and annuity, and we typically do 2 IUL academies as well. And we partner with companies like North American, different ones as well. And it's a 2.5-day training, and it's not annuities 101. It's not life insurance 101. It's how can we help you grow your business? How can we take you from being a $1 million producer to maybe a $3 million producer or more? We're going to bring in several of our top agents, and they're going to share exactly how they grew their business, how they got to the top. We're going to bring in several of our um, partners in the industry as far as marketing goes and different things like that, help you learn some of the techniques. It's more advanced marketing and about growing your business. Now, we do partner with carriers on these, so there will be a little bit of carrier information. But besides that, it's software tools, it's other concepts that maybe if you applied to your business would take it, like I said, to that next level. So we don't have the dates on the next one. I do know that um, the first one's this week. We're probably looking at July for the next one. So if you are interested in joining us for one of the academies, if you want to answer yes to the poll question, then I'll make sure that we get you out a registration link, and I'll let you know as soon as we have the dates for the next academy. So I'm going to leave that open for just a second. Faster we vote, the faster we move on. I'm just kidding. All right, we're going to go ahead and shut that down real quick. And with that, like I said, we do have Austin Eller with us, who's, like I said, regional VP over at North American. So, Austin, I am going to hand the reins over to you
All
and
righty.
make sure we get you going here.
Let me full screen my presentation here. I believe it should be up. Are you able to see it,
Yep, we're good to
Laura?
go.
Awesome. Well, hey, everyone. I appreciate you joining in on a Friday. I think I'm going to go probably 20, 25 minutes here. I know it's slated for an hour, but with it being a Friday, we'll get you out of here early. I want to appreciate Laura for having me on here and appreciate all of you guys taking time, like I said, out of a Friday to listen to what I have to offer. Got some exciting things. We just rolled out the availability for partial Roth conversions. We've made some enhancements to our Charter Plus series. The Charter Plus has just been taken off like crazy over the last several months. And I'll kind of touch on a few other details too in regards to suitability with it being a bonus product. And we're seeing a lot of replacements going into it. First, IMES. I've been working with IMES now for almost 2 years. And, it's funny saying this, but they feel like family to me. I love those guys over there. And for all of those of you who work with IMES, you guys have a great partner over there, and I can't thank them enough for all that they do to partner with us here at North American too. Now, with that being said, let's look at North American and who we are first. Not a whole lot, but let's just kind of give you a snapshot into our financial strength and ratings. We are A plus rated by AM Best, S&P, and Fitch. So all those major rating agencies there, we are an A plus rated carrier. I think this is something that I myself, even as a employee of North American, need to talk about more, right? We are going in majority of the times an indexed annuity is a 10-year product. And, like it or not, that is a pretty long time period, right? When you are going into a 10-year solution, a lot can change in those 10 years, whether it's client needs, wants, um, industry things, right? You just think of the last 10 years with interest rates. last 10 years with, entrances into the space by annuity carriers or annuity carriers selling blocks of businesses, right? I always say the number one or one of the hardest things that a financial advisor or an agent has to do is resell their block of business after they've sold it already. And what I mean by that is if you guys show a client a product up front, right, of a 5, 6, 7, 8% cap rate, but 2, 3, 4, 5 years into it, it's drastically decreased because that company, whether it's financial problems that they've had or two, mispriced it up front. That's something that I always think is one of the hardest things that you guys have to go through. So having a carrier that you can trust, financial ratings, strength, stability, I think that's really, really important, and making sure that they're not only here today, but 5, 10, 20 years from now as well. You'll see at the top right, we have a little box there, a little gold box called Standing the Test of Time. We were given that award by AM Best. So now we have been not only A rated by AM Best, but we've been A rated for 50 years with them. So it's not something that's just recently happened. We have been a strong rated carrier, an A rated carrier with AM Best for a very long time. Now let's go into the partial Roth conversions, right? I had mentioned, and so had Laura, that we now do partial Roth conversions. That's something that's exciting. We are now only one of four carriers that allow that, right? So that's unique in the industry, I guess you could say. It's something that takes a massive overhaul for a company to be able to do, both technology based and financially based. You have to spend a lot of money on technology to be able to do this. So we've been working on it for a year and a half now, and we definitely finally are now able to do that. I just want to share a little bit of tidbits on how it works or kind of just parameters. Partial Roth conversions, they will be available on all products issued February 1st, 2024 or after. If a contract has an issue date before that, you can only do full Roth conversions. So you still can do a Roth conversion. It just has to be of the full account value. It cannot be a partial amount. So just keep that in mind. The original contract will be known as the primary contract. And what I want to also note is that this is available on all of our products. There's no product limitations or anything like that. It is available on all products, regardless of which that is, right? The main thing is to just know that it's for any contract issued 2/1 of 2024 and after. The second contract will be a mirror of the first with the same parameters and guidelines. So you do not extend the surrender charge period or anything like that. It's going to have the same free withdrawal percentages, same index allocations, etc. It's just going to be a second mirrored contract with that new amount being a Roth rather than a traditional IRA. The mirrored contract will receive a new policy number, so just keep that in mind. But there will only ever be two contracts rather than creating a third, a fourth, and a fifth every time you create or every time you do a new partial conversion. We will only ever have two conversions or two contracts. I apologize. $5,000 is the minimum per conversion. And partial Roth, there is a flyer that we have with the frequently asked questions. It's really slick. Pretty much answers any questions I've ever been asked when it comes to this. So it's a very slick flyer that we have. And if you need that, reach out to us. We can get that sent to you. Now I kind of wanted to show you a visual of how it will work. I want to show you guys a client who's put in $500,000 as their initial deposit for an indexed annuity here at North American. And let's just say it's a traditional IRA. So let's say it's a $500,000 401k rollover, right? You'll see here right now the additional deposit. Well, now they have $500,000 in a traditional IRA. But let's say each and every year they want to convert $100,000 at a time to a Roth IRA, because obviously converting this full $500,000 will create a very large taxable event for that client, and they want to make sure that they can do this year in and year out and not take as much as a tax hit. So they want to do $100,000 year in and year out over the next several years to eventually convert the whole portion to a Roth IRA. So during year one, what they'll do is they'll convert $100,000 of that primary contract, the traditional IRA, to a Roth IRA, and that will just create that second mirrored contract. As I had mentioned, it has all of the same parameters. And now all of a sudden, you have $100,000 in a Roth IRA that they will be 1099 for at the end of the year. But the great part about that is because they're able to do this partially instead of the full amount, they're only going to be 1099 in that year for 100,000 rather than the full 100 for rather than the full 500,000. And then for the next several years, they will just keep doing this, right? In year two, they're going to do another $100,000. So you'll see now $200,000 in the Roth IRA, $300,000 in the primary contract. Now, this is all assuming no growth, right, guys? I just wanted to use easy math, easy numbers. If you're assuming no growth whatsoever, it's just going to keep those numbers flat and even. Year three, so on and so forth, right? And this will continue into years 4 and 5. I'm going to stop kind of the visualizations here after year three, but you can eventually get to the point if they keep doing this, well, they'll have 100% of their money that they put in initially as a traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. And with many people thinking that taxes are going to go up, right? Traditionally speaking, taxes right now are at some of the lowest points in history, I guess you could say. I don't anticipate them to stay here forever. I know we all wish that, right? Low taxes are great technically for the individual, right? Um, but long term, I just don't know. Obviously, with the national debt and everything going on, I don't want to ever predict anything. I'm not the smartest guy on the book or on the block, and nor do I, try to intend to be. But I would just assume that at some point in time in the future, taxes are going to go up, and I think the national public believes that as well. So it's just a great strategy that you can work now with clients with North American products to help kind of cater that story. Hey, you have 100% of your money or 80% of your money right now is in your 401k, which is all going to be taxable upon retirement when you start taking it out. If we move a chunk of it to North American and year after year slowly turn it to a Roth IRA, when you eventually start to take money out of it, you can now know that that product's going to be tax free and that money you take out is tax free. So a really great selling point, really great features that we now have on all products that you can do here as long as it had been issued February 1st, 2024 or after. Now, lastly, I want to talk about our Charter Plus series. Now, I'll say this, guys, Charter Plus has been around for North American for a very, very long time. I've been here 4.5 years or almost 4 years now. Um, People, when I started 4 years ago, were talking about the Charter Plus and how it used to be very popular years back. Now, I'll be quite honest, it was very popular years before I got here. It did kind of take a back seat to several other products we had in our arsenal. And we realized because it's a bonus product of ours, for several years, we just kind of like let it lay and be the product it was. We didn't really make any enhancements, adjustments, etc. And over the last 2, 3 years, we know that interest rates were at an all-time high. Replacements are at an all-time high. So bonus products are traditionally speaking at an all-time high as well to help replace those older products. So what we're seeing and what we wanted to do is with this Charter Plus, since it's our bonus product, we really saw an opportunity to enhance it and see a huge increase in sales. So we revamped it late last year, and it has been the fastest product in terms of fastest product growth in terms of pending and issued business that we've ever seen as a company in terms of revamps and adjustments made to products. So that's been really exciting. It's a bonus product with growth and accumulation on the back end. No need for income riders or anything like that, or there's no opportunity for the income rider, I should say. Real quick, the issue ages are 0 through 79 on a 10 year. They are 0 through 75 on our 14-year product. The minimum for the initial deposit is $20,000. But what's unique about it, and I'll touch more on the uniqueness of this flexible premium, is the fact that it does allow for flexible premium to be added year in and year out. The flexible premium, there's technically no minimum, right? Once you get that initial deposit of $20,000, you can add money to it year in and year out. And there is, like I mentioned, in a couple slides, I'm going to show you the uniqueness of that. I break this down into 3 different categories. What's the bonus options of this product? What's the performance? And what's the liquidity? And truth be told, if you want to, your so-called elevator pitch of this is how you can kind of break it down, the bonus, performance, and liquidity options within this product. For bonus, there's a lot you're looking at here on that top half of the screen. I'm going to kind of do my best to not talk on all of them. I'm just going to focus on the 10-year version and the high band version of the 10-year because there's so many. We have a 10-year version and a high band and a low band, and we have a 14-year version and a high band and a low band. 90% of the sales right now are going to come in on the 10-year. So I'm going to focus on the 10-year for the majority of the time, and then I'm going to highlight 1 or 2 things on the 14 year. One thing to note too, we have a no fee and a fee for rate options in terms of the bonus. So let's look at here. I'm going to change the color of my pen so you guys can all kind of see what I'm looking at as I'm highlighting it. Let's focus here on the 10-year version. For the high band, the no fee bonus is 11%, and the high band is $75,000 up. And I'm going to focus on the contract is about $150,000. So majority of the contract coming over the high band at $70,000. So if you do not want to pay a fee for an enhanced bonus, we are currently sitting at an 11% bonus. But if you look here towards the bottom, if you put on our EBR rider or our enhanced bonus rider for 95 basis points, you can get a bonus all the way up to 20% now on our 10 high band. So on our 10-year high band, 20% is the bonus if you decide to put on that enhanced bonus rider. 90% of the sales are coming in on the 10-year version, and then 90% of the sales are coming in with an EBR as well. So 90% of people are right now are choosing the enhanced bonus. They're going for that higher bonus to get that client that bigger kick up right away. So just note, you're going to pay 95 basis points for that enhanced bonus. If you don't want to pay 95 basis points, you can by all means go for the lower bonus option and not pay the fee. Just know that you're not going to get the bonus up front. Now, what's awesome too about our 14-year, I'm going to highlight this real quick. You can get all the way up to a 26% bonus. So day one, you put in 100 grand, and if you choose this 14-year option with the enhanced bonus rider, you're going to have up to 26% bonus, $126,000 in the account value day one in that instance. And you're going to start earning interest too off that bonus initially. So that's something to keep in mind and note. You're going to get that bonus credited day one, and you're going to start earning interest off of it. For performance, so obviously the bonus is great, but you want to know what the indexing options are and what to expect out of the performance. Well, we're going to have indexing options across the board for diversification reasons from a bunch of different well-known name brands: Morgan Stanley, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, S&P, Barclays, right? We're going to look at those here in a couple slides, but we do that for diversification reasons, and I'll touch on that here a little bit more. We have up to 20 different indexing options available. 18 of them are uncapped. 6 of them are volatility controlled indexes. And then lastly, for liquidity, we have 10% free withdrawal starting in year 2. And then we have a 100% nursing home confinement waiver starting in year 2 as well. This page right here, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it just highlights the bonus options available here. So I'm just going to highlight 2 numbers here, right? You're going to have the 10-year high band. If you choose the EBR, you can get up to a 20% bonus like we talked about. And then on the 14-year high band, you can get up to a 26% bonus. So 2 very, very strong bonuses that you have the availability to use. Get that bonus put on upfront, help offset maybe surrender charge on an older contract with poor interest rates, whatever that may be. Now let's look at the uniqueness of that flexible premium. Remember, guys, I had said that you can add additional premium to this contract. You can add additional premium to the life of, or for the life of this contract. So there's no limitations on how long you can add premium to it, but there is a limitation on how long that you will get that bonus for. So you will get the bonus for the first 3 years of the contract. So every year that you had money for the first 3 years, you will be guaranteed to get that bonus. From years 4 and after, you can add money, but you will not be able to get that bonus. So what you're seeing here, and I'm going to highlight them as I talk about them, a client with a $100,000 initial deposit, and they chose the enhanced bonus option, right? Each and every year, they're going to add $5,000 year in and year out. And we only highlight through the first 4 years here on this kind of illustration is what you could call it. But then off to the right here, you're going to see because they chose that enhanced bonus, they're going to get a 20% bonus on all of their money. So for that initial deposit, far right-hand column, $20,000 day one. And then each year that they add that money of $5,000, they're going to get a $1,000 bonus to it for the first 3 years. At the bottom, year 4, you're going to notice we stop accrediting that bonus on flexible premium in year 4. So that's very unique in the industry. I'll be honest. I haven't taken the time to really look too far into it, but I think we are one of the few that allow for flexible deposits on a bonus product. And then above and beyond that, I think we're one of the only carriers that will allow you to still get the bonus past year one. If there are if there are one or two out in the industry, I don't know about them. I'm sure there might be one or two, but it's just a very unique feature that we have, and allowing you to be a flexible premium product and still get that bonus on it. So in this scenario, the client, right, had put in technically during the first 4 contract years, $120,000 total. They now, just assuming bonus and no growth, putting in $120,000, they actually reap a net benefit of $143,000 with bonus. So very, very strong bonuses that are going to be applied there that you can see added to your account value day one, and then added to that money that you add for flexible premium as well right off the bat. All right, let's round it out just with looking at the indexing options, guys. I'm not going to highlight and spend too much time on this because you're looking at so much, but I'm just going to kind of point out what you're seeing and what is on this page. So what this shows is a rate spotlight, meaning it shows on the left-hand side. Oops, sorry guys, I failed the art class here. But on the left-hand side, you're going to see all of the different indexing options that we have. So you're going to notice fixed accounts, S&P caps, 1 year, 2 years, point to points, 1 year with enhanced participation rates, fee for rates. There's a ton to choose from, right, guys? On the left-hand side, that's what you're looking at. On these columns here, you're going to see the declared rates for each and every one of those indexes. You're going to see we have a 5.75% cap. We're going to have participation rates as high as 225%, so on and so forth. One thing I want to point out about the cap, sometimes I get a little bit of grief about the cap rate and where it stands. Just know we are actively looking at that right now, guys. I don't want to foreshadow anything. I'm hoping maybe we'll have a rate increase. I don't know. I know we've been talking about that for some time on our cap rate. But when talking with actuary, we can decide to do two things. We can kind of take the risk to potentially higher our current cap rate that we have and just guessing whether or not, option costs will go down over the next several years based on volatility or interest rates, whatever that may be. But we don't want to necessarily do that. Right now, we want to price our product to what we think we can keep long term. And 5.75 right now is a comfortable number. I do think we have maybe a little bit of wiggle room, potentially, that we are looking at. Like I said, I don't know that for sure, but it's something we are looking at right now. But we are very, very strong on wanting to make sure we can keep our cap rates for the life of the product, because cap rates are some of the hardest to keep long term. Enhanced or excess return indexes or volatility controlled indexes are a lot easier to price long term, but S&P cap rates, because of the volatility within the S&P 500, are a lot harder to price. So we want to make sure we don't give you guys a rate that we think is going to be cut in half over the next 3 to 5 years. Because as I mentioned earlier, the hardest thing that you guys have as financial professionals is to sell a rate up front and then have half that rate 2, 3, 4, 5 years into a contract. And then those clients are coming in for renewals and wondering what the heck's going on and why this carrier sold a rate up front that's now half the rate that they're getting. Another thing to note, just we're going to have, indexes that are going to illustrate all the way up to the bottom here at 10.33%. You're going to see some in the middle of this screen at 11%. So not only are you going to get a strong bonus, but you're going to get strong illustrated rates as well. And the one thing I mentioned, guys, diversification is key. Just because an index crushed it the last 3 years, I've seen too many times working in this industry where people will chase indexes because they did great the last year. And then all of a sudden over the next year, the index that was, second or third on the list, performed the best and they got out of it. It's good to have options within the indexes for several reasons. Not all indexes are going to work the same in different environments. And if you unfortunately have an index that is a dud 2, 3, 4, 5 years into a product, it's important to have other avenues that you can jump to. So I'm going to round it out. I know I'm going to jump to my thank you screen here, but I want to actually real quick, I want to talk about our EPC program, guys. We have 4 levels, 3 that add enhanced compensation. We have the executive level, the president level, and the chairman level. So you'll see they're at $2 million of fixed index annuity production. We will give you an extra 50 bips in compensation. $4 million in index production will give you an extra 1%, and then $8 million will give you an extra 1.5%. Now these are paid monthly, so that's unique. As soon as you hit these levels, we go retroactive back to $1, so you'll get the extra bonus on all production you've already written for the year, and we pay it monthly. So they're from there in and throughout the rest of the year, all production that you have is going to get paid monthly rather than quarterly or annually. So that's something unique that we do as well. Um, and then we grandfather people in most years. So if you've hit, the chairman level, the $8 million year here at the year end 2024, instead of making you reset the clock in 2025, what we'll do is we'll grandfather you into that contract or that level starting in 2025. Lastly, we have a fourth program called the ambassador level, where if you hit $20 million in a calendar year, you get your own dedicated suitability and new business representative. You only have one suitability representative looking at your piece of businesses or your cases, and one new business person looking at your cases. So that's great because if you're replacing a large block of business or a lot of your business is done the same way, and you have one suitability representative, once they know how you run your business, that just becomes so much easier for them to know what they're looking for on your suitability forms. You can call that suitability director or that suitability person direct. You can call that new business person direct. Just gives you that dedicated service person, and it helps your business go through a lot more smoother. So that's our way of, kind of giving you that dedication and support from our end, and that thanks from our end for the business that you do if you hit that $20 million level. All right. Lastly, I just want to round it out with suitability, and then I don't know if there's any questions or anything. Um, Suitability, guys. I talked about a bonus product today here called the Charter Plus. Obviously, we're going to see a lot, and we have seen a lot of replacements go into that product for good reason, right? It's no secret that replacements are at an all-time high because interest rates are a lot higher than what we saw 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. The only black and white rule that we have, guys, is that you have to be within a 5% net loss after any surrenders, MBAs, or bonuses. So after the bonus is applied to any surrenders or MBAs, you just have to make sure the client does not incur more than a 5% net loss from their previous account value at the other company. From there on out, and that's on all of our products, the 5% net loss rule. From there on out, you just have to make the case that the client is in a better product position than what they were prior. And I say product position because you need to make sure that that product has better features for what the client needs are. And if you're going from a growth product to a growth product, guys, just make sure that our rates, caps, fixed rates, etc., are better than the old product. If you have an old product that we offset the bonus with the surrender on, right? Or if we offset the surrender with the bonus on, if the old product has a 5.5% cap rate and we have a 5.75% cap rate, just know, guys, in suitability's eyes, that's only 25%, or that's only 25 BIP cap difference. That's not a ton. You need to make sure that it's a substantial amount because only a 25 BIP difference in cap may not be a good enough reason or is not a good enough reason for a client to now all of a sudden put themselves in a whole nother 10-year surrender charge schedule and then lengthen out their point in terms of surrender charges and how long that'll be out. So that's all I have for you guys. I don't know if there's any questions or anything else that you wanted me to cover here real quick, Laura, but I know it's Friday and you guys are probably excited for the weekend. So if there's anything, I'll be happy to answer those here before we round it out.
Yeah, one person just wanted to see if you would elaborate a little bit on the 5-year rule as far as with the mirrored contract on the partial Roth conversions.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll go back to that. We don't technically have a 5-year rule, guys. They can. I'm going to go to this screen here to kind of talk on that. We don't have a 5-year rule or anything. I think where I may have confused you, I apologize, is I was using a 5-year example where in this example I was giving you, the client's intentions were to convert the full IRA to a Roth IRA over a 5-year period. That doesn't have to be the case. They could take 10 years, 15 years to convert it to the IRA or to the Roth IRA. We don't have any rules in terms of time period that they have to do it in. Technically, they don't have to convert the full contract if they don't ever want to. We do have a $5,000 minimum, though, per conversion. So
Well, and
if
I
you have
think
$100,000 in a contract, you just have to know that the minimum you can convert at one point in time is $5,000.
they also are meaning also with the Roth 5-year rule, just in general, after they do their first conversion, that starts their 5-year tick time as far as the conversion
Oh,
goes.
Oh gosh, yes, I know that rule. I'd have to go Google it again, and it's actually on our partial Roth FAQ. Oh shoot, son of a
Yeah,
gun! Here, I
well,
should
so this
know
is
that.
no, it's fine. I know it. So you basically when you make that first conversion, that 5 year window starts, and then at the end of that, after 5 years, then you can start taking distributions from that Roth IRA, but you do cannot
Ah,
touch
yes,
the first 5 years.
yes. There you go. See, that's why we have Laura on, guys. She's a lot smarter than I am. She has 10 times the knowledge that I do, so she's the expert. I appreciate that.
Good thing we have this recorded, so I can hold that against you for years to come.
Exactly. Exactly. That will always be there on that now moving forward. So, not
No, the only
sure if
the
there's
only
any
other
other
thing
questions.
Yeah, the only other thing I was going to mention, and Austin hit this really hard, but I mean, if you've been in this industry for 5 years, 6 years, whatever, you go back and however long, look at those policies that were written 8 years ago. I mean, with North American's income products, we're even. I did one the other day where I was able to beat an income rider that was written 7 years ago that's been growing for 7 years by almost $10,000 because payout percentages are so high right now. We've got these big bonuses available now. So I encourage you to look, even if it's an income product, call me, give me the details. Let's see if we can beat it because there are a lot of situations where, both on the income side and if you're just looking for accumulation, let's get them out of those 2% caps and get them into a 5 or 7 or 10% cap, depending on which product we go with. There's a lot of opportunity right now to write a lot of business and put your clients in a much better situation. So, just my little plug there at the end. Hopefully help you guys generate a little more business. But other than that, those were all the questions. I appreciate everyone taking time today. If you're not currently contracted with North American and you'd like me to get that sent out to you, you can go ahead and answer yes to the poll question. I will then have my assistant get that out to you later today. I will also have an email going out to each of you with the product information that we covered today, as well as probably get a copy of the slide deck. I could put that in there for you as too. So anyway, I appreciate everyone taking their time today to join us. Austin, I appreciate you taking time out of your day as well. And I hope everyone has a fantastic Friday and a great weekend.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks, everyone else. Have a great weekend.
Bye.